Alright you guys, Happy Holler here with a helpful tip for those of you mamas out there that need some pouch ideas for your little ones. So instead of buying this really expensive pouches, I'd rather make my own so I know what's going into my daughter's nutrition. So I'll show you here. The Instapot just got done. This is my very favorite device and tool that I always use for this. I put it on for 8 minutes on manual on my Instapot, and it has Gala apples, like about an apple and a half's worth of Granny Smith, because that's what I had. I just throw whatever apples I have left. I put some organic chia seed in there for some protein and a whole bunch of other amazing benefits. Chia is always great to add to anything. And then what else did I put in there? Just about probably 8 to 10 ounces of water, and this pot was all the way up to the brim, but as you can see, as it cooks, it goes down. So I wanted to show you guys how I do this, because a lot of people have been asking to show the steps and not just the finished result. So here you have it. All I simply do is I take my apples with the chia seed in the water, and sometimes I will drain, depending on how much water is left in there, and I'm going to check it right now. To see. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit of water, and this is how whatever yields from the water liquid becomes my apple juice, faux apple juice, whatever, real apple juice I should say, not faux. That doesn't have any added sugars. I did not put any honey or any syrup or anything like that, but if you wanted to make it a little bit more sweeter, you could. But the reason being why I don't is I like to keep it as unsweet as possible, just because it's less sugars, but also because I'm going to be adding in some greens, and underneath all these greens I have some mixed berries, fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, and blackberries, but I don't add those in to cook with it because I want to preserve the nutrients and vitamins. If you were to put this in there for 8 minutes in Instapot, it would cook the junk out of all of your, greens and berries. So I like to preserve those for the very end, so because the heat from the Instapot from the apples alone will blend in nicely with the greens and the berries, so you don't have to worry about that. I also did add this time around, it's my first time adding it, but since I had a ton of it, I've already had like pre-cut up prepared butternut squash cubes in a bag that I had in the freezer. So I went ahead and threw that in there to get some extra veggies snuck into my daughter's stuff. Not that she needs it. She actually loves veggies. Like I said, she's plant-based since birth, so all she knows is veggies and fruits and healthy stuff. So she's pretty good with that. But I just also wanted to give you guys ideas to sneak in your veggies for those mommies or daddies out there that it's just harder and a bit more challenging sometimes for kids to eat veggies. We all know that. So alright, well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and strain off the liquid to make my apple juice. All I'm just simply going to do is take a fine mesh strainer and put it into my apple juice container, and I'll be right back to show you guys what that looks like. So, alright, give me a second. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I simply took my fine mesh strainer, like I said, I put it on top of this or in a wide bottom bowl and then transfer it to there however you feel comfortable, depending on what your container looks like. This is always my juice container. This is actually vintage. I've had this since I was a kid. So all I'm going to do here, just because it is super concentrated apple juice, that's just simply the remnants that were left over from the pot. So you can see now that I got the liquid out of there. You want to leave a little bit of liquid just because if you add greens, you need a little bit of moisture to really emulsify that with your immersion blender, or any blender for that matter. So just make sure you leave a little tiny bit of liquid. Every time I turn this camera on, my daughter makes noises. She knows I'm doing filming here. So all I simply do is I'll add like half and half, or sometimes a little less than half, just to like thin it out, just because it is so concentrated. But if you like it really super concentrated, you could leave it like that. I just like to add that. I'm gonna leave the lid off though, just so it can cool off, because I don't want to put, you never want to put hot juice or liquids into your fridge right away, because it can go rancid and make it have like a bitter undertone. So just note to self if you're making. So there you have it, some fresh apple juice. You put the lid on, pop it in, ready to go. So that's the finished result of that. Really good stuff there. Alright, so moving on here, I'm going to go down to the star. We got our butternut squash / apples and chia seed and cinnamon. I forgot to mention earlier, I did put some cinnamon in there. That's another reason why I watered down the apple juice, because if you are adding cinnamon to it, it can be really like strong. So if you don't like strong cinnamon, then definitely water it down. So, alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and add in my greens and berries here, and then I will be right back. Just kidding, you guys. I forgot a step. I always blend down whatever's in the bowl with my immersion blender. I like the Cuisinart one. You can use whatever high-powered speed one. It's just easier than having to pour it into a blender and cleaning it out, but I luckily am getting my Vitamix Ascent 2300 coming from Amazon, hopefully soon. So I'm pretty excited to try my recipe out in that. But anyways, stick immersion blender like this will be perfectly fine for this. It actually works really great. So I always blend this up just to make it easier to blend later when I go to add my greens or whatever, berries or any additives. I did forget to mention to you this time around, normally I don't put dates in it, but I did actually put about 3 or 4 pitted dates in this just to give it a touch of sweetness. I totally forgot about that. So here we go. I'll show you just a really quick, but I want to show you the whole time while I'm blending this. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes depending on how chunky or smooth that you like it. But since these are going in my daughter's pouches, it's gonna, usually I would just blend it for about a minute if you want like a chunkier applesauce consistency. But since I'm making these for food pouch purposes, over here I have it all set up ready to go like you see. And I use the Kiinde breastfeeding/food system, and I love it, love it, love it, because you can just transfer it right onto, and then it has these twisty on caps, and then you can just simply pop them in your fridge or freezer. These are 8-ounce ones, but they do make 6-ounce ones as well. And you can get them at like Target, Babies R Us, Walmart now might have them, but it's pretty good. It's going to be pretty popular. So just look it up if you don't know what it is, or I'll put a link down below for you guys that are interested in what kind of bags I use or the kind of system that I use. It's the Kiinde breastfeeding/Foodii start system is what the food side of it is called. So with that being said, I'll show you here, like I said, I'm simply going to take it and I pulse it. I don't really like to, I'll pulse it first and then I'll go around a couple times just because it's just easier that way on the machine. So I'll just show you what that looks like and then I'll finish it off. I'll come back and finish it off so you guys aren't listening to 2 minutes of me doing the same thing of blending. So I know I don't like listening to that in videos, so I'm sure somebody else will appreciate it. So, all right, well, I'll show you here real quick and then I will come back when I add the greens and the berries after I get done with this. Alright, so that's probably where I would stop if you want an applesauce, which is typically what I end up doing for a lot of times for desserts or for snacks for my daughter, because she likes to spoon feed herself a lot. So that's the perfect consistency, I would say, just about for a good applesauce if you want that. But I'm obviously going to keep on going with another 30 seconds or so just to thin it out more, just because I will be adding the greens and berries here in a second. So, all right, so that's pretty much it, you guys. We'll be back. All right, you guys, here it is. You can obviously see it. It's a little bit smoother than the applesauce. And then I just went ahead and dumped in my strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and mixed greens, organic mixed greens. All from Aldi, actually. I love me some Aldi. Had some really good deals. They had $1.29 for a pint of blueberries, $1.19 for a package of strawberries, and blackberries were like $1.49. It was so cheap, you guys. So we're gonna mash them really good and put everything in here. So that's what it looks like. Now the trick to this is you want to pulse. You don't want to like just go around and around a minute because the greens will get caught in the thing. So I actually like to pull some of the applesauce onto the berries and greens itself, but I just wanted to show you guys because some people are like, do you know you have the strawberry leaves on the strawberries? Yes, there's actually a lot of great nutrients if you research it. I mean, it's a green, so don't throw out your strawberry tops. I just leave them on, wash them really good, and then leave them on. there, and then just throw them in. So just a little tip there. I do that same thing for my smoothies or any kind of thing that I am going to eat the whole part of the fruit. So it's not going to hurt you. So just so you know that I purposely left them on, yes. So you can see I'm just kind of like not even turning the blender on. I'm just kind of mashing it in there manually for the moment, just to get it incorporated, because again, you don't want to get the greens caught onto the inner blades of the thing, because it won't really blend well if you do that. So pretty much got it submerged for the most part. You can put kale in here. A lot of times I put kale. I just switch it up depending on what I have ready to go or what needs to be used. My spring mix was getting a little wilty looking, so I was like, all right, we're going to use that instead of kale tonight. So I'm just going to show you briefly here. It's the same technique, just going to blend everything in together until it's this consistency that you want it. You want it kind of smooth for pouches, so it goes through the spouts pretty well. So, but yeah, so you can also, if you wanted to chunkify your applesauce and chunkify, that sounds really gross. But you know what I mean. If you want it like a typical applesauce consistency, but you still want to add some of like the berries and the greens to sneak some veggies in there and extra fruits in it, you would just add that in immediately with the apples before you start doing the applesauce process, if that makes sense. So we can kind of incorporate those greens without breaking it down to the point where it's almost liquefied for like a pouch version. Or like a puree. Alright, so I'll show you just here briefly, and then I'll come back when I get it all submerged. It'll probably take about 2.5 minutes to get this done, 3 depending on how many greens you put in. So, alright you guys, well here you go, and then like I said, I'll come back and I'll show you how I put it in the food system for my kind pouches over here that I have so lovely prepared over there. So, alright, here you go. Again, you want to pulse. Alright you guys, so I'm going to keep at it and get my daughter out of her high chair from dinner and we'll see how it goes. So, alright, that's my cue. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Alright you guys, we are back. I fully immersion blendered the final product here for the pouches. Again, this had the greens, the blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, dates, cinnamon, a dash of cinnamon, not a ton, and the apples and butternut squash. So we're going to put all of that finished product. I went ahead and, because I only have one hand tonight, I went ahead and put it in the Foodii system, and that's the Kiinde system like I was telling you about. It's Kiinde, just for those of you, it's not kind like the normal kind. It's Kiinde system or the Kiinde system. Different people say different things. So, alright, so I have 2 of these. So what these is a food transfer thing. You don't have to have this step, but it comes in the kit. So, but it just makes it easier to transfer it to the pouch, because the pouch spout is the size of the pouches. And I'll show you that. So you just put the lid on it like that. Very simple. And I went ahead and already prepped one. So for me, there's 2 ways you could do it. There's some people will put it down like that and then try to pour it in. I actually like to start it with this on top. And we'll see how well this goes. One-handed, you guys. Oh, goodness gracious. And then I just flip it over, kind of a thing, like so. And then I will just squeeze it in there. So let me let me see how I can do this, you guys, without spilling it everywhere. Hold on a second. Okay, I just want to show you guys at least one. Okay, so I just simply squeeze it into the pouch and you'll see it going in there. And like I said, these are the 8-ounce pouches, but if you want smaller pouches, you can do the 6-ounce. Or if I had the baby bullet containers, I didn't buy the baby bullet, I just got the containers, actually an online yard sale, local yard sale, and put those for my smaller babies, like the 6 months to about 10 month stage, or even up to 12 months. I found worked great for those, but then they got too small. But these are great because they're on the go, and I'll pull out the other attachments, but you can see it goes in there pretty easily. and pretty mess free, which is nice. I do typically leave, if you're using this system, or any pouch for that matter, you want to leave a little bit of room at the top, kind of like about an inch or 3/4 an inch, only because when you freeze these, if you're freezing them, it will expand, so you gotta factor that in. Okay, so on my Kiinde system, you can write on the dates on the corner tab there, right there, or you know, whatever method of madness that you guys use, and then you just simply put either the cap if you're storing them for like in the freezer or the backups. But I'm going to go ahead and put on the twisty pouch as part of the attachment that comes with the food system for the Kiinde system. You just twist it on like so. And what's really cool about these is they're so nice because it just makes it so much like more accessible and on the go for me, which is great. So I just pop these in the bag. Sorry you guys, I'm trying to do this one-handed, and I'm trying to get this pouch off so I can show you here. Give me a second. Oh, it's a twist off. Okay, so you just simply twist off for the Kiinde system, that is this lid like this. So it just twists on and off, and then it is ready to go for little one. And I like how wide mouth these are because they are super easy to clean and they are dishwasher safe, all these parts. The bags are not reusable, but I find if I use it right away, I'll rinse it out really good with warm water, hot water, and then I'll just reuse them once at least, and then I get rid of them. I don't by any means reuse these. These are not labeled as reusable bags. They are working on a reusable bag though for their pouches or breastfeeding bags. That's what these are. You can use these for either breast milk or food system. So I love that it's universal across the board with them. But they are working on, last I heard, and I asked them that they are in development, and it might even be out soon here this year possibly. Who knows, for a reusable bag, so you're not wasting as much. But these are not that bad actually price-wise, I find, and they're very durable and sturdy. They don't leak, they don't bust. I love these pouches. I know a lot of people have other issues with a whole bunch of other brands leaking and breaking, and when you thaw out breast milk especially, it was like falling apart, and yeah, so I didn't want that. So I really endorse and trust. I don't endorse. They didn't pay me to do any of this, guys. I'm just joking. But I swear by this brand. So if you're looking for a great breastfeeding system, or if you don't breastfeed at all and you want to skip that part, you can buy just the Foodii kit and you can go straight to that. But it's the same pouches, just so you know, for both. So let me grab the spoon attachment for those who are younger mommies, just because I think it's worth showing. Really cool actually. So this is an attachable spoon, so instead of twist pouch lid, you would just simply put on this spoon, so it just pops right into the what do you call it? Goodness guys, I know some of y'all are gonna shoot me because I'm just not looking so professional right now with this video, but real life mom here. So it just pops out of the container like so. Here, I'll show you guys what it looks like, because I really do want to show this to somebody, y'all, because I know it's super helpful. I wish I knew. Well, I'm glad I researched. I'm a researcher, so this is my first kid, and I'm glad I researched and discovered the system because it's been a lifesaver. So it just pops off a little protective sleeve like that, and it's a spoon already built in, so there's no like bringing an extra spoon, worrying about like, you know, and it comes out super like it's a pretty good size spout on there. It's not super huge and it's not small, so it won't be like squeezing the crap out of it and then explode on you trying to get the pressure out. But it's like so cute, you guys. It's like a built-in little spoon there. And then I found if mommies who don't want to give their kids such a wide open mouth on their, because I mean it is pretty wide on here for, I mean, babies if they really want to. I find that they are pretty leak proof. Even though my daughter tips this upside down sometimes, it doesn't like go flowing out. It'll come out still, but not like crazy, like some of those other ones will. But with this, I found like when Anna was younger, Anna Ray, my daughter, when she was younger and she was navigating how to do a pouch and this and that, but I was nervous just to give it to her and let her risk squeezing it everywhere. You could always just give them this and they love it. And it's a smaller opening, and they just eat it from that instead, so like a little pouch thing. So, but this is great for you younger mommies with 6 months old, 8 months old, who's starting to eat foods, purees. You can just like squeeze the pouch and it comes out a little bit onto the spoon, and then just keep spooning and keep squeezing, and it'll feed the baby that way. So there you go. Here's a little tip for y'all. So see why I love this system so much. Can you guys tell? All right, so like I said, that's one ready to go. I just label and date it, put it in the fridge, and I can grab it and go for whenever I need it for my daughter. All right, so there you have it, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this video here, but pretty much it's gonna be doing the same thing, filling all of these guys up, and then it will look like this, or it will have like the lid for, you know, that. So really easy, just twist this off and put it on when I need to. So all right, you guys, and you can actually store the food too. Any leftovers, if you don't feel like making a ton of pouches, you can leave it in bulk like this right in the container and put it in the fridge, because how cool is this? It's not only a funnel built into the lid, which I love that, but it does have measurements on the side too for those that love that. But then it has a cap that just snaps right on, and there you go. Right into the fridge it goes, or freezer, depending on whatever your fancy is. So, all right, so I hope that helps you guys. I know it's kind of a mixed video here of how to make stuff, but I just figured occasionally a lot of people like tips. Like I said, this channel isn't just for couponing, it's also for tips on how to make healthier options, and I'm a mommy of a toddler, so I still do my pouch life. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. I know it's kind of lengthy, but a lot of people were requesting they wanted to see my step-by-step process and not just the final product that I posted in videos in the past. So all right, speaking of disregard my mess, real life mom here, but Anna Ray, you gonna say bye to everybody? Say bye. Say bye, say love you.
Hi.
Say happy Valentine's Day.
Happy.
Okay, bye y'all, happy hauls, and love each other well, live life full and happy. Bye, say bye. Say bye.
What for this? What for this?